Are you satisfied with the job he's done as president, what he's delivered on?
I think President Joe Biden has been an exceptional president. On a range of issues, he has overperformed expectation. He has navigated incredibly difficult circumstances, and he has shown that he is willing to stand with the people of Georgia, with the people of this country, to move the nation forward.
Stupid bitch. Chuck Cooley, man, oh yeah. Those were good commercials back in the day. Gosh, the 80s commercials. They were so good. Anyways, look at this right here. I'll jump right into this like Kamala Harris jumps into a career. A career bed. She jumps into a career, embedded career, and somehow another Montel Williams finds out that you're not the father. FBI launches investigation into alleged corruption in Mayor Eric Addams' 2020 election campaign over illegal donations from Turkey. Wow. Look at that. Look at those criminals wearing face masks. Well, is that a good picture right there for you right there? You like that? Yeah. Anyways, all I'm wearing red shoes. Shocking federal investigation into potential illegal foreign donations to a New York City Mayor Eric Addams' 2020 election campaign has been unveiled following an unexpected raid on the house of the chief fundraiser, Brianna Suggs, early Thursday morning. Guys, I've also got some really good articles, too, we're going to talk about Fauci. We're going to talk about an explosive investigation into Biden's presidential records and stuff, that he was not even president when Sam Bankman-Fried, he's been found guilty. And let's see here. The Italian prime minister gets prank called by a Russian prank caller people, and she actually admits the whole thing about what's going on with the fatigue that has to do with Ukraine. I've got some election integrity stuff that we're going to talk about. That'll come up here in just a little bit. Just stick around. So there's a lot of different things we're going to be talking about. Ken Buck, he's retiring from Congress as he completely annihilates any of his accountability when he goes and testifies about Trump. And let's see here. We have also got, just stick with me because it's going to be good stuff. Stuff happened at a power plant, possible homegrown attack. I'm just going to say that. And we'll slide on my Twitter page. And we're going to cover, I've got a lot of stuff that has to do with, we found out some other some election integrity news. That's what we're going to talk about here in just a minute. But just stick around. We're going to roll through some of these articles. I'll jump around a little bit, and I'll try my best to make it fast and informative because I know everybody's happy to be Friday and happy to get out of here. So that's what we're going to do, guys. As I fumble through, what is happening here? What am I doing? As I fumble through what's going on, I want to talk to you about Eric Addams and some weird stuff. Now, check this out. We know that there is an illegal crisis going on right now in New York, and Eric Addams is supposedly speaking out against it, but of course, making policies and enacting all kind of different legislation to make these people permanent when it comes to voting rights, definitely going to be putting them on the police force. They're going to find their way into that. And, there'll be a National Guard for that area. They'll probably put them in there. That's typical what they do. They've done that a lot. This is not even, when I say they, it's other countries have used in foreigners to take the place of the people that would normally be in the military, because the people that would be in the military in a homegrown area, I know I'm a little off subject about what's happening in New York, but stick with me for a minute, lean into this. The people that usually are from that area have a reason to stand up for what's right in that area, so they join the military so that they can, represent their country. When their country no longer represents them, then those people don't stand up for the country because there's not a country to stand up for. So to keep the war machine going, to keep the industrial complex rolling militarily, they've got to find willing candidates. And so what they do is they'll import people. In other countries, they've been doing this for years, and it's caused a big problem when it comes to the people that were indigenous to the area of how things are enforced. It seems to go one way when it comes down to how that's all done. Let me turn that off. I hope that's not making too much noise. It's a little chilly in the shop, so I've got a little heater keeping my lower section warm. So now you're like, well, what does that have to do with Eric Addams? He took a bunch of donations, or his campaign director took a bunch of donations from they're saying Turkey, but I promise you it's going to find out to be more. But Brianna Suggs has been a pivotal figure in Mayor Eric Addams' political journey. She has been instrumental in raising funds for his campaigns, amassing over $2.5 million for his 2025 re-election bid, according to the Daily Mail. Ooh. This could be a big problem for his 2025 reelection. Their professional relationship dates back to 2017 when Suggs joined Adams' office as an administrative intern during his tenure. Wow. Worked her way up really fast, didn't she? And this was on Brooklyn Borough as Brooklyn Borough president. She later ascended to the role of fundraiser and director of logistics for Eric's triumphant 2021 mayoral campaign. Currently, Suggs is associated with Kings County Democrat Committee, where she serves as fundraiser. Then Suggs has garnered $18.4 million. There's a lot of numbers here. So bad stuff happened. Now, so there is an investigation. Well, now the mainstream media are talking about it now. Eric Addams had to cancel a White House migrant crisis meeting as FBI raids top fundraiser's home. look at that face. Ugh. I swear it looks like a lizard. That just looks like a lizard. I'm just saying. Eric Addams, Washington, D.C. left ahead of visiting Washington, D.C. for a series of meetings in the White House to address the ongoing migrant crisis in New York. Canceled those appointments and abruptly returned to New York City after FBI raided the home of Brianna Suggs, a close associate of fundraisers of the mayor's. A person with knowledge of the raid on the Suggs Brooklyn home told the New York Times that from the Bureau's Public Corruption Unit questioned Suggs as her home has been searched. Campaign finance filings show Suggs have been paid more than $150,000 by Addams since 2021 through her company Suggs Solutions LLC. And this is for campaign consulting and fundraiser efforts, by the way. Now, okay, so that's weird. We usually, is what's happening behind the scenes. Are we having wins? Are there wins out there? I'm hesitant to start talking about what the new House Speaker's what he's been doing. I want to see some action. Now he's talking about told Chuck Schumer has to watch his back. I seen an article. I read a little bit about it, but I want to see action first. I don't want to get a bunch of hopium started where people are actually thinking that this dude's going to do something. He might. I'm not going to say he won't, but right now we've been let down so much. I'm just going to watch right now. I'm watching on the back to see what this Johnson's doing. And let's see here. Fauci ran a lab in Montana, experimented with a certain kind of stuff that got supposedly leaked out by accident, or better yet, it was transferred from a bat. There was all these rumors about how AIDS came from a monkey. That was a thing. That was a rumor that went around forever and ever and ever. The only reason why is because it was actually reported like that. Said that there was a man who had intercourse with a monkey that then that virus actually transferred and became, what do you call it, zootonic? No, that's not the word I'm looking for. But anyhow, long story short, it was reported by mainstream media back in the 80s that the AIDS epidemic came from one African dude making love to a monkey. Tell me that ain't racist. Ain't that crazy that somebody would say that? And how, where was the proof for that? But that was just all they needed to do, because believe it or not, these people that claim that they want equality and equity for everybody, those are the ones that are pushing the epidemic of racism. But anyways, coronavirus, I got to be careful how I talk. So apparently this Montana lab was a Fauci-run lab. And this was happening a year prior to this whole thing that came out where everybody had to be locked down. Now, there was also reports on a lot of the development stage of this took place at a hospital in North Carolina called UNC. And passing through the area, just to let you know, that hospital is a dirt trash bag hospital. That hospital that's received all that money to do all that stuff they've been doing is a piece of trash hospital. I'm just saying. It's in the middle of nowhere. You walk in the place and it just looks like it's never been maintained. The ceilings are dirty. There's stains on the floor. There's stuff leaking out the ceiling. It is a nasty place. The people that work there suck too. I'll say it. As I had been passing through the area. But anyways, a Montana laboratory funded by National Institutes of Health and overseen by Dr. Fauci in 2018, they had infected 20 Egyptian fruit bats with a SARS-like virus called WIV1, shipped from the Wuhan lab, thought to be the source of the whole thing, of that thing that was with the thing that happened with the thing. And discovery highlights the pending connections between the U.S. government and the Wuhan lab, as well as funding dangerous virus research. Can I read today? Am I going to be able to read? The White Coat Waste Project is requesting more information about the experiment and similar research on potentially something of the P word causing viruses have been ongoing worldwide. Now, does anybody remember here just a few months ago in California, an illegal biological lab was found in operation due to a infrastructure violation that had to do with a water hose. The one time the green energy people actually paid off with something, because these green people don't want people with water hoses just connected to their house, because there's a chance it could be left on, and if they're left on, the hose could bust and water will get wasted. So there's a guy that rides around through the towns and the neighborhoods and looks at your house to see if you've got a water hose that's connected, whether it's on or not. Then they go knock on the door to say, hey, you need to disconnect the water hose. When they went out to check that place to be like, hey, you got a water hose thing, they knocked on the door and it was all weird and stuff. Then they're like, hey, beep, 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 we get some people in here with some suits. And that's how that place got found out. That is crazy, in case you didn't know that. And explosive ingestion. President Biden is supposed to digestion. But anyways, Biden's investigation, classified documents, Hamlin raises alarming national security concerns. Seems like the media protection has somewhat been a little bit hampered when it comes to the Biden regime. I don't know why, but they're also trying to spin Hunter as the victim of the whole thing. And his dad, with Hunter's, addiction problems, like, yeah, he's just a kid just trying to get by, a 55-year-old kid just trying to get by. and he's just bad because he's making his dad look bad. You should love him, give him more drugs. Let him use your car to go buy the drugs. You reckon that Hunter had to hit the Secret Service up for, hey man, can you run me over to these people's house because this dude owes me a few bucks, and you just wait in the car, I'll get the money, I'll be right back, and I loaned him some money, so would you just wait in here while I go in there and get my money that the dude owes me, I'll be right back, and you get in the car and then you go home and it was totally not a dope deal? You think this ever happened? Just wondering. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried's spectacular rise and fall of the cryptocurrency industry, a journey that included his testimony before Congress, a Super Bowl advertisement, and dreams of a future for running for president. He would have made a great president if he hadn't got caught. A Super Bowl advertisement hit a new bottom Thursday when the New York jury convicted him of fraud and a scheme that cheated customers and investors out of $10 million. What's up, Bernie Madoff Jr.? Now, he's just a fall guy. They using him. This dude was, if there's recordings of him talking, he has really no knowledge of what was really going on. They just needed him and his family to move money, and they all got paid, and he became a billionaire out of the whole deal with doing pretty much absolutely nothing and not really even concerned about the company. That's how he knew he was operating in a criminal fashion, and he knew it. But he was a fall guy. The reason why they use people like that is because he's an idiot, and he's perfect. He's a boisterous, hubris idiot. That makes it real easy to put people like him in position and say, you just do this right here, we'll pay, and you're good to go. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's gonna play my Sega game gear and be hanging out on my Adderall. Look what happened to you now. But that doesn't mean it's all fixed. I guarantee you, the whole time this was playing out, the new money funneling scheme has been rerouted and rebrought, because we never heard of FTX before until this happened. So what other places are doing that right now that we don't know about till it finally happens? And he's lucky to get Gaddafi, like they're going to do Zelenskyy, by the way. But I got a really funny thing about Zelenskyy. Dude, Zelenskyy, this is absolutely the tits. My wife gets, I'll say the tits. I say the tits. Blow your tits off. Watch this.
How do you estimate the conflict in Europe between Ukraine and Russia? How long it will take to understand what is the position? You had conversations with President Biden and others, so.
Well, I see that there is a lot of fatigue, if I have to say the truth.
Okay. This is a prank call, by the way, by these people. These Russian dudes, they actually prank call the prime minister, somehow or another get through, and she thinks it's an official that she's talking to on the side. This is all confidential. And pretty much when it's after watch this. Here you go. Let me get to the right spot here. Here we go.
So.
Well, I see that there is a lot of fatigue, if I have to say the truth, from all the sides. We're near the moment in which everybody understands that we need a way out.
Yeah.
The problem is to find a way out which can be acceptable for both without destroying the international law. I've got some ideas about it on how to manage this situation, but I'm waiting to the right moment to try to put on the table these ideas I've got.
But
I wonder what those ideas could very well be. And when are they going to come out now? What is she going to do now? What is she going to because now she's got to bring it out. She's got to go out there and be like, well, that was an AI call. They AI'd me. That was what happened. I got AI'd, guys. That was a deep fake. That is her best argument to be right there. Wisconsin Robin Vos finally moves forward. Robin ain't a dude. It's not a woman, by the way. It's I believe that's the governor. Anyhow, Robin Vos be crooked as all get out. Don't think for one second that he's a good dude. But I think there's something behind the scenes that's making him have to move in that direction. It could be election cycle. It could be they realize that there's too many people, boots on the ground now, watching what's going on with our papers, how we choose people and all that stuff. But Robin Vos moves forward with articles of impeachment against elections official Megan Wolf. She was the one, it looks like a wolf in that picture. She was the one that approved all of the weird mishandling of all the rest home votes that came out, because it came out of court. Michael Gableman was a retired Supreme Court Chief Justice, and he investigated it and did a bunch of work behind the scenes to actually figure out what happened in Wisconsin. And that was a big deal, because it turned out that in the middle of that investigation, as he was bringing out all the evidence, and he was he was getting traction, and he was getting heard on the media, Robin Vos pulls all the funding, takes down Mike Gableman's office and all of his people that had working under him to help him do what he needed to do to put a stop to the investigation. And Michael Gableman did the best he could, what he had to work with. And evidently it was enough, because when they tried to move forward to impeach Megan Wolf, Robin Vos steps in and puts a hold on the whole thing. Well, now there's a movement to go forward. I don't know what the outcome's going to be. I don't know if that's going to happen for sure. Now, when they take somebody out like that, who do they put in? Hopefully not somebody worse. That's the only thing we've got. So we haven't right out of the woods yet, but that is a little bit of a win to see that things moving in a direction that seems to be in the right way. But we'll see how it turns out in a little bit. So we'll just let that ride a little bit. And retired Representative Ken Buck testifies in Colorado trial to remove President Trump from the ballot, the ballet. And he actually, on his way out, I don't know a lot about this guy. I'm still learning about politicians and stuff. It's like, this isn't a complete, no, don't think for one second I know everything. So as I learn as I go. On the fourth day of the lawsuit aimed at barring former President Donald Trump from the 2024 ballot in Colorado, Congressman Ken Buck was called to testify by Trump's defense team. And there's a little bit of stuff here and some people and some plaintiffs and some this, that, and the other. But the case argues that Trump violated Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which disqualifies any individual from holding federal office if they have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the United States. Congressman Ken Buck was tasked with discrediting the January 6th committee's report, which alleges Trump's involvement in an insurrection. Buck provided testimony remotely from his office on Wednesday. In Washington, D.C. on Thursday. Damn, I just totally George Soros style on us there for a second. God. Anyways, there was a lot of testimony by these cops that came up there and testified about Trump. And all they could do was talk. They called all of the protesters terrorists, which is fine, because some of the people that actually did something wrong. And those people that did something wrong are more often, not all. Now, trust me, there was regular people that did stuff wrong too, but what got the whole thing and an emotion of that caliber was a lot of bad actors that were put in place by these it's operatives. These are operatives. I don't know who or what or who was behind it, but just it's not organic that it got that heated. And there's a lot of video that shows that. And so if you take away all the people who did there, if there was however many people, or let's just give a number, if there was 1,000 people there, then they need to find out of those 1,000 people the ones who did the instigating and find out who did it. Not people standing outside that weren't doing anything wrong. Not the people who went in. Even you're allowed to go in there even during these proceedings, but as long as you're not damaging anything. Yes, a lot of people went crazy, and so what you need to do is look for the ones that did that and go after those people, whether they're for the government, working for the government or not. But don't go after MAGA meemaws who were just standing there. That's not cool. But Buck asserted that the committee's approach was biased against Trump and motivated by the political vendetta. Buck highlighted its failure to cross-examine certain witnesses, challenged specific pieces of evidence, and subpoena particular documents that could have negated allegations against Trump. So Ken Buck actually did that. So I don't know a lot about the guy. We're going to find out, but he's retiring from Congress now. I don't know what his role was and how well he did, but a power plant in North Carolina was, I guess, not really, I mean, like, I don't know how much of a threat was going on, but a security breach at Duke Power Plant. Man rams the gate and attacks guards. And the Oconee County Sheriff's Office conducted an investigation following a concerning incident at the Oconee Nuclear Station in South Carolina on Thursday night. Okay, so it's in South Carolina. It's like right on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina. Anyhow, at approximately 8:05 on Thursday, deputies on the Oconee County Sheriff's Office responded immediately to an emergency call from this place. And when the dude was just doing some crazy stuff, rammed the gate, went after some people, but they haven't found the guy. They said he was driving a 2002 Toyota Camry with gold trim. Does anybody remember those model Camrys that had the gold trim package? It would said, I can't remember what it said on the back, but anyways, they did have that. You could buy a Toyota Camry and it would have gold trim all around the edges of it. And they made a Buick with a rag top in the mid 2000s, and somebody bought that thing brand new. The identified car was a silver 2002 Toyota Camry with a license plate number 380 VDR. That was in Arkansas. That's a pretty good hump. What deepens the mystery is that the audacious act is that approximately an hour prior to this incident, the same vehicle and its driver had made an appearance on the premise of the Oconee Nuclear Station. Upon confrontation, the individual was asked to leave, in which he complied before the later intrusion. And so, don't know. We're going to see if they find anybody. I don't know. It's really strange. But that's a big nuclear place. That's one of the largest reactors on the East Coast. And so, yeah. And then, where are we at here? Oh, I want to show you election integrity at its best here. I'm trying my best to roll through this. Dinesh D'Souza. Let me get right here. New shocking footage has been released of Democrat candidate Springfield, Massachusetts committing election thingies on broad daylight. City Hall officials wrote sworn affidavits saying the candidate Justin Hurst paid people $10 to vote for him. This has not been proven in court yet. But I don't know what's going on there. But it has not been proven in court. But apparently there are signed affidavits, and so I'm only reporting on what I've heard so far. It doesn't mean that all this is legitimate yet, YouTube. Okay? We're just going to see what's happening. But it has been reported by other media organizations that this is a thing, that your vote was only worth $10. $10 would buy somebody's vote, allegedly. That's just absolutely crazy. I guess we're watching camera footage of people pulling up, and what we're looking at here are people going to do that. I'm just seeing what happens here. And that's where, I guess, Dude Man's hanging out. And if that's some of his operatives or whatever, but he's paying people, allegedly. And that's happening in a lot. It just happens in Massachusetts. And it's happening in a lot of other places. Look at those chemtrails, guys. Check that out. Now, let's just look at that a little closer. Look up.
Santísima, pues, ¿qué es eso, José? Mira. ¿Qué es eso?
We'll jump around a little bit just because I got stuff kind of stuffed together here, but we got some more election integrity to get to. Venus Williams is not refused to bow out of a tennis match because it was reported that she'd be playing a transgender, and she said, "I ain't doing that." And she's no small girl neither. There actually looks like there could be somewhat of a competing entities right there. But long story short, she weren't doing it. There's Trump's attorney. I'm trying to find, gosh, CNN catches somebody actually, possibly, allegedly stuffing a whole bunch of pizzas in an oven. Watch this.
The only ballot drop box in Cuyahoga County, Ohio. You can see this woman right here casting her vote. Did you vote for Reagan or Jimmy Carter? Carter, okay. We don't want to get too personal with people here, but you can see.
Wait a minute.
The only ballot drop box in Cuyahoga County, Ohio. You can see this woman right here casting her vote. Did you vote for Reagan or Jimmy Carter? Carter, okay. We don't want to get too personal with people here.
She has no idea who either of those people were. You know that, right? He was making a joke, and she had no idea who those were. I guarantee you she just was saying something because she was putting a lot of pizzas in that oven. Look at that. Look at all those pizzas that she's going to cook for everybody. And it's all going to decide how everybody gets a pizza with pineapple on it, guys. I hope you like it. Somebody in the comment section is like, don't be talking shit about no pineapple pizza. There's some more here. Give me a second here. I want to find this stuff. Oh, dude. Let me find this too. Dom Lucree, he actually got a community note because he reported something false. But I'm going to give you an idea what that was. I've got to find it here. Gosh, it's terrible. I can't find it when I'm looking for. In the meantime, it's Tommy Tuberville. They said that was Tommy Tuberville falling down the stairs. Anybody seen this? That's supposedly Tommy Tuberville, not Gavin Newsom. So I don't know, but let me see here. You would think that I'd have this all figured out already. But, there you go. Watch this. This is more E-word stuff. This is in Georgia. This was in Fulton County when they had a water main break. And there was a certain individual that found a whole bunch of documents that needed to be copied. She's going to copy. Yeah, I'm only saying that in quotations, but this was in Fulton County in making copies. And they were stuffing them things like that machine there was smoke rolling out of the machines and everybody was getting a toke off of it. Yeah, that happened in Fulton County. Yeah, and that was a whole bunch of stuff got scanned that pulled out from under a table. I have no idea what it was. But love to find the Dom Lucree thing. But anyhow, Dom Lucree puts on there, it talks about, he said that Bill Clinton did not visit Epstein's Island and all that stuff. And then there was a community note that actually told him it was wrong. And I see his humor behind the whole thing because, here it is. The truth is, Bill Clinton has never been to Jeffrey Epstein's Island. Plus, they only have one photo together. And then the community notes. Thanks, Elon Musk. This is where it gets funny. This is how you game the system. These people, watch. It says Doug Band worked for Mr. Clinton for around 2 decades. He said the former president flew on Epstein's jet dozens of times and visited the sex offender's private Caribbean island on January the 3rd. There was also multiple pictures of them together, including one at the White House. And they actually provide links so that you can see the Snopes and the Times. Way to go, Don. You knocked it out of the park, dude. And this here... Okay. All right. I've got to wrap things up. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I want you to look at this right here. These are street lamps that they're putting in, all these new street lights. They have this atrocious light that's emanated off of them that looks terrible. This blue light that, by the way, they say blue light is terrible for you because you have to wear blue block glasses and it causes disruption in sleep at nighttime. And now all your street lights are blue. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. So watch this right here. Check this out. This is something else. I don't know.
This is an LED street light. Let's see what's inside. Uh-oh. Apparently, this is an LED 5G street light. It's pretty neat.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a sticker he stuck in there, but I just know that it seems to be a weird thing with street lights. Just saying. I mean, if you ride through an area and you see a bunch of blue lights in yards now, that can't be good blasting in your window while you're trying to sleep at nighttime. I don't know why I know why, because crime is really high and it's a lot better to have I don't like street lights in my yard. I want it dark where I can sleep at night. But, I want to show.
God's going to George Bush, members of Skull and Bones University.
Place.
Okay. All right, this is the Skull and Bones Society. It's a 10-minute video, but I've kind of condensed it a little bit. But watch this right here. This has been documented from a lot of people. If I remember that there, let's see.
Disorient them, frighten them.
New York Observer investigative reporter Ron Rosenbaum accompanied a team of Yale students who shot these pictures 9 days ago. Rosenbaum's curiosity about Skull and Bones was permanently piqued when, as a classmate of George W. Bush, he lived right next to the Tomb, the group's heavily fortified home. From their perch, Rosenbaum and his cohorts taped the Tomb's courtyard. What they captured, they say, was initiates, known as neophytes, being forced to kiss a skull, then members performing a mock killing.
I don't know what that is. Okay. Now this is, I like this guy. This is some energy right here.
Bush and his father had anal sex with 100 men. How do you know that?
Because they are part of the well-known fraternal group out of Yale University known as Skull and Bones. And it's public knowledge that the Skull and Bones organization, in order to be initiated, first of all, you had to lie in a casket and let men urinate on you. And then a part of the process, you had to stand in a circular, if you will, masturbation squad to be a part of Skull and Bones. And then you also had to be penetrated by the elder persons in Skull and Bones. Everybody knows this as public knowledge. And George Bush Sr. and George Bush Jr. are bona fide members of Skull and Bones. That means they have been penetrated by at least 100 men in their anus area.
And how do you know that it's 100? Might it have been 95?
Yeah, well, it could have been less, but generally that's the number that kind of gets the attention of everybody.
And if it could have been fewer, it could have been none also, right?
No, it could not have been none. It could not have been none, no. And because Skull and Bones will not accept you without that practice. It's hideous, but that's what they do. That's what these fraternities do. Some do even worse than that. But
both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim. You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
And it goes on to talk about how they desecrated Geronimo's grave and everything like that. So that's where we're at now. That's what's going on. It's Friday. I'm gonna be doing a big there's a big show that's nearby here. We do an event, and so I'm gonna be doing that all weekend, and I'll be doing some footage on that. A lot of vintage, antique equipment, building equipment, and tractors and bulldozers, and so there'll be some cars and different things. And so I have a whole other thing that I do on the YouTubes. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to tie the two together, but you'll find me there one day. And a lot of fun we have on that other place that we do, because it's just a good time. It's where I get to show the good side of America, people's innovation, and different things like that. So just look for me out there on the tube world doing that. I just let that thing sort of grow by itself. Nobody's fluffing my channel. Nobody's all fluffing my channel. So thank you very much. Have a good weekend, guys. Lots of love. Thanks to the new subscribers. We'll be back Monday, as long as we don't get on a forced vacation, because some of the stuff we talk about just isn't a YouTube friendly sometimes. But we get by. Thank you very much. Lots of love. I'm out.